Hi, I'm Amy, and this is your sewing room solution. Have you ever sewn blind? And I don't mean like this. I mean a blind hem. Everybody has had at one time to hem their slacks, hem their curtains, hem their husband's slacks, hem their neighbor's slacks. Lord have mercy if your neighbors know that you sew and have a sewing machine. The mending just keeps coming through your door. Well, the answer can always be, of course not. My sewing machine doesn't know how to do that. But I'm going to show you today so you can't lie anymore. I'm going to show you first what a blind hem stitch or a blind hem foot looks like so you understand what your machine comes with one, because it's a basic stitch and basic foot as well. Now there's a couple different, they look a little different from manufacturer to manufacturer, so depending on what yours looks like. This is from one particular manufacturer, and you can see that it has it's a little lip right here that one half of the foot is kind of raised up, so the heavy side of the hem is raised up on the left. This is what we call an adjustable blind hem foot, which means the guide can move in and out to help you with your perfect top stitching and to move the guide to hold the folded part of the hem in place. This is also a blind hem foot. Now it has a rudder right down the middle right here that holds the folded hem in place for you. So when it stitches, it kind of bounces up and down and rolls with the machine, but it holds the hem in place, so it's pretty slick. And that's the one I'm going to use today. Now, a blind hem stitch, most machines come with two, one for knits and one for wovens. And how you can tell the difference really on any stitch, what's for a woven and what's for a knit. The one for a woven is always straight. It comes down straight, swings straight, comes over straight, and down straight. The ones for a knit always has a angle to it. So it comes down in it usually comes down straight, angles in, comes up back in an angle, comes down straight, angles over, and comes down. So anything with an angle built into it is always for a knit or a stretch type fabric. Now when you set up for a blind hem, it all has to do with folding the fabric. This is where the mystery comes in. This is where everybody comes in and says, please, please help me fold the fabric. So if you don't know how, stop in. We can show you how. I interfaced this so you can see the right or the wrong. So the white is the wrong side of the fabric. The red is the pretty side of my fabric. So I'm going to turn up a hem just like you normally would. So I'm just going to turn up. These are my slacks, by the way. No, I don't wear red slacks. This is just for video. This is just for video. So I'm just going to fold up my hem, whatever it happens to be, and give it a nice little press, okay? And then I'm going to fold it back on itself. So when I fold it back, just like that, let's see, fold it up, fold it back, I have to think to myself. And you get this nice little S shape, just like that, nice little serpentine. So it looks just like that. So when I put it to the machine, I'm going to be just barely catching that fold. So when the machine comes down and the stitch goes to the left, it's a tiny, tiny pick, and you want it to catch, barely catch the pick of that fold. So when we open up the hem, you can barely see a stitch if you can see it at all. This is why it's so nice on home deck fabrics, because you can never see it. Now on wool slacks, this is perfect. Corduroy, anything with a little bit of weight to it. Denim. Okay, it's kind of dorky on denim. You want a straight stitch denim. Whatever. But it's not good on like lightweight cotton. It's definitely not good on silk. You really don't want to see the pick, but then that's a personal preference. So here we go. Let me stitch this thing out. Okay, so let me put the foot on first, Amy. There we go. Now, one thing you're going to have to adjust is your stitch width. That's so you know. Now I am placing the fold right up against that rudder that's running right down. So here's the fold of my fabric. Here's the rudder of my foot. They're going right up against each other. So I'm going to turn this by hand, just a few stitches, because when the needle swings to the left, boop, I want that needle to come down and barely, barely catch that fold. Now you just want to keep about 1/4 of an inch or so to the right of the fold, just so it has enough. You would have clean finished that either with your serger or a zigzag. And we're just going to do a little bit here so you can see. And I always kind of stop to make sure it's catching it. And if it's not catching it, you can go right back over it and make your zigzag wider using your stitch width button. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, so when I half open it, you can see that's the zigzag part of the stitch. And when I turn it to what would be the outside of my hem, you can't see anything. It's blind. That way, can't see it. Perfect. That's what you want to see. So that's what a blind hem does. So it takes a little bit of practice because you're going to be sewing this in a circle, of course, just like your hems of your slacks. So you're going to remove your accessory tray. You're going to start at the inside seam of your slacks, and you're going to be going all the way around. Now, if your slacks are really tapered and you have to hem this 2 or 3 inches, you're going to have to open up the inside of your hem, so when you turn it up, it's perfectly square. If you get lazy and just hurry up and turn it up, you're going to have an ugly pleat on the inside. But it's up to you. What's good is good. I'm just here to teach you how to use the stitch. Right? Okay, so you're going to get your blind stitch out, your blind foot out, pull up your blind stitch, get some fabric, and you're going to practice. But you're always welcome to stop in the store and let us show you which stitch has a blind hem. And if your machine doesn't, and some older ones may not, come on in and let's check out a new one. So this is your sewing room solution.